Today I'm going to be ranking all of the quest lines in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Of course, this is my personal opinion, and I mean by quest lines, I mean by quests that lead to other quests, stuff like that, stuff like the guild, the main quest, the DLC quests, all that type of stuff. Of course, the Bards of College, sadly, it's only got one quest. I think that was a really disappointment, and that's an honourable mention. I may as well mention it. It would be nice if I had more quests so you could actually become a Bard. We'd probably be talking more, and it might actually be on the list. But sadly, it's one quest, and that's all you do. You click item, then you celebrate. That's all it is. It's kind of weird. But as I said, this is my personal opinion. But anyway, let's get into this. So let's start with the companions. Obviously, I don't want to go into details with all the type of stuff, all the missions and the quests and that for each faction, because if I did that, this freaking tier list could be like an hour, 2 hours long or something like that. And I did that for my Elder Scrolls games, and some people were still complaining it was too long, even though it was an entire game, and I had to explain pretty much what I liked about the game, and like I was trying to do 5 to 10 minutes of each game, and people were like, "Oh, that's too long," and I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." But anyway, let's get straight into this. So the companions, a lot of people, companions, I would say is probably middle of the road. You either like the companions, or you don't like the companions, or you think they're average. Me personally, I think they're all right. Reason being, I think a lot of people have a problem with the companion quest line is the fact is you have to become a werewolf to complete the quest line. And to be honest, I don't like that either. I don't like that either. But the good thing about Skyrim is, believe it or not, a lot of people, a lot of hardcore RPG fans probably hate this, is you only have to go a werewolf once, and that's when you first drink the blood. You never have to be a werewolf ever again. Ever. And you're immune to diseases while you're a werewolf. Now I get some roleplay reasons. People might not like that as well. I completely understand that. But yeah, I just don't play as a werewolf, and you'll be immune to diseases. Obviously, you can get rid of that later if you want to. Of course, when you complete the quest line and all that type of stuff, I just kept it. I usually keep it in my playthrough. So if I'm doing the companions, I say, you know what? I'll just stay a werewolf, but I'll never actually turn into a werewolf. But playing as natural werewolf, I think, is really, really bad. It's really underpowered and extremely weak, even with every perk unlocked on it. Like, by the time you get to level 50, and if you're playing on harder difficulties, like Legendary, Master, or even Expert, you're probably potentially going to run into the problem where you're just going to die too quickly because the enemies, bandits, are going to be such a high level, or enemies are going to be such a high level, where more health isn't really going to protect you because you don't have any armor or you don't have any way to protect yourself when you're a werewolf. So I would say it's very flawed. But overall, the quest line is interesting. I'll give it a B. As I said, I don't want to go into details. The characters and that are all right. You get a decent amount of trainers and that, but I don't think you actually have to be part of the guild to actually access the trainers. I could be wrong there, but I can't remember because I don't usually use trainers in the newer Elder Scrolls games as much as I do the older ones where you have infinite trainers. But anyway, yeah. So Daedric quests, obviously Daedric quests they're all separate quests. I believe there's 15 Daedric quests in Skyrim. That could be wrong because there's an achievement or a trophy, achievement and a trophy where you get it when you get 15 Daedric artifacts. I think there is 15. I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm not looking that up. I'm not going to look that up anyway. But anyway, as cool items, you get overpowered weapons. Obviously, they're not all overpowered armor and all that type of stuff. The best is probably by far is the Merkin Ataro blade, or whatever it's called, the wee dagger that has an effect that says has a small chance to insta kill it. Anything that's completely broken in the game, completely busted, and if you're struggling against the Ebony Warrior, pretty much use that weapon and you probably will eventually one shot him. I'm not joking about that. Yeah, it's kind of busted, if I'm going to be honest. But you got other cool weapons like the Sura Star, the Ebony Mace, the Shield Breaker. No, I believe the Shield Breaker is not a Daedric quest. That's a separate quest line. Cool stuff like that. Or the Ebony Blade, the Ebony Mail is quite good in the early game, especially if you can't have access to Ebony armor. If you're going to heavy armor build, because it's quite annoying to get smithing to level 70. But overall, I would say the Daedric quests in practically every single Elder Scrolls game, I think the Daedric quests have been very good. They had a few flaw ones, and like Oblivion, for example, you had to get your personality below 20, which could be quite annoying if you were, let's say, a thief character or something that you wanted to get really high personality. Getting your personality down can be a bit annoying to do. Obviously, there's ways to do it, but it can be a bit annoying. Same with the Morrowind, and obviously it's Skyrim and all that type of stuff as well. Something that can be annoying to find in all the Elder Scrolls games. But yeah, overall, I would say S tier, absolutely amazing. Recommend it. Recommend you at least do a few of the Daedric quests. Do them all if you want. If you're going for the achievement, sure, do them all. Or if you want 100%, do all of them in one playthrough. But not all the rewards are amazing, but most of the rewards are like Daedra equipment tier or slightly below Daedra, like armor or weapon tier. Somewhere around Ebony and Daedra tiers usually what they, or sometimes even higher than Dragon gear. But anyway, let's talk about the Dark Brotherhood. So the Dark Brotherhood, quite a fun quest line, assassination, all that type of stuff. I feel like Assassin's Guilds in pretty much any game is done pretty well. If I'm going to be completely honest, even when Assassin's Creed game, remember when Assassin's Creed games used to be an assassin? Yeah, I remember that. Instead of what it is nowadays, but we're not talking about Assassin's Creed. The Dark Brotherhood questline is very good. Some of this stuff doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's a lot of plot, but I guess the companions is kind of like that as well. Like the companions, the bandit clan attacking Whiterun and getting in and somehow attacking the companions' headquarters really not made a lot of sense. Because what the fuck were the guards doing in the city against a bandit attack? Since the Silverhand are technically considered bandits. But I guess it's cool to get silver weapons. I forgot to mention that, so I may as well mention that now. Anyway, but the Dark Brotherhood, Astrid is probably one of the most dumbest characters in the entire Elder Scrolls universe. Let's be realistic. Her betrayal doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think it would have been a cool way, personally, if she betrayed you, she tried to betray you or had some hit or something kill you, but she didn't somehow what are the freaking faction called? The Imperial Loyal Guards and all that type of stuff. I can't remember. Not Perseus. Perius. I cannot remember the name of the freaking Imperial guys that are trying to hunt down the Dark Brotherhood. I've completely forgot their freaking name somehow. But anyway, it didn't really make a lot of sense how they found out where the Dark Brotherhood lives, and they did absolutely nothing. Obviously, you get the secret Dark Brotherhood ending where you can betray the Dark Brotherhood right at the start and hunt down them and destroy them completely. Obviously, that's not canon. But that was an interesting quest. I wish some other quests did that. To be honest, that's a really, really sad disappointment. They only did that for the Dark Brotherhood, where you could betray the Dark Brotherhood at the start. I wish they did that for like the Thieves Guild or the college, or you could join Necromancers or something like that, man. Why can you never join a Necromancer faction officially in an Elder Scrolls game? It was such disappointment. So disappointment. But anyway, Dark Brotherhood, as I said, apart from some of the writing and all that stuff being overall pretty, yeah. Overall, I would say it's really, really, really good questline. I'm going to put it in the A tier. That might shock a few people. Some people might be like, the S tier should go in the S tier. And somewhat I do agree, but some of the betrayals and the writing and that didn't really make a lot of sense. Asher was panicked, she just wanted to be the boss. I get that, but the place getting attacked and destroyed by the Imperials and all that didn't really make a lot of sense. Because if they knew the locations from the start, why the fuck did they wait around and not attack it at the start? That's my question to that answer. Because they did know the location. Because if you do the non-canning where you betray them, then they know the location. All right, let's talk about Dawnguard. So Dawnguard's the entire expansion. As I said, I'm not talking about the main Radiant quest. The Dawnguard main quest is really, really, really fun. There's a lot to do in it. You pretty much become an OP vampire hunter. He's got cool armor and all that stuff to introduce it. Which sadly, the armor is not the best, but the crossbows are kind of cool. Has anybody else noticed this? It's like they cannot make overpowered armor in DLCs. Like, I don't think there's been a single DLC in any Elder Scrolls game where they've made DLC armor better than Daedra. Yeah, they haven't. I don't know why. They can't. They just. I don't know why they can't do it. It's really, really weird. They should do it for a DLC. I think having DLC armor better. I know some people might say it breaks lore and all that type of stuff. I get that, but the armor was a little bit disappointing, to be honest. But questline's really fun. Obviously, it's Cern and all that type of stuff. Fun questline. I would say really, really good. I have one little flaw to the questline. Some of the dungeons, that snowy dungeon towards the end, that massive dungeon, you go for that massive cave, then you go into the outside and you're walking up these ice valleys and all that type of stuff. I would say it's a little bit too long, personally. Fighting the two dragons at once is cool though. But overall, I would put it in S tier. I think it's really, really good and I think it's a must play. But just, if you're not the biggest fan of dungeon crawling, then yeah, I guess it is what it is. Or play another Elder Scrolls game with the dungeon crawling is a little bit less, because some of the older games was a little bit less. Assuming you don't go back to the first two games, that's my suggestion. If you don't like dungeon crawling, don't go back to Daggerfall. You'll hate dungeons. Alright, we may as well talk about the Vampire Guild as well while we're here. So the Vampire Guild is mostly the same as the Dawnguard. Some of the quests are changed. Some of the stuff. There's actually a really, really broken quest with the Vampire Guild, where if you're too high of a level, you're going to run into a problem when you have to control that priest guy. It'll be a problem, because you can only control people up to a certain level. and if he's too high of a level, you're not going to be able to control him, which could potentially be a problem if you're like level 100 or something like that. If you're doing that quest line at level 100, obviously a lot of people wouldn't be. I don't recommend you do it like that anyway. But if you do it like that, you might run into some problems. Being a vampire lord is cool, but once again, it's got the same problem as a werewolf. You're going to get fucking wrecked on high difficulties. It is a bit better than wolf, I will be honest. But as for the normal vampire, being a normal vampire form kind of sucks in general. You can't go out during the day. You can't really talk to people. All that type of stuff. It's annoying. It's got problems. It's got a lot of flaws. It's not horrible, and it's got a lot of good parts about it. But it's just annoying. Honestly, I'm going to put it in the D tier. I think it's a massive, massive downgrade. No, you know what? I'll put it in the C. I'll put it in the C. I don't think it's that bad. But honestly, Dawnguard or Vampire, 9 out of 10 people. Maybe not 9 out of 10, but I'd say about 70, around 70 to about 90% of the Skyrim fan base will tell you that the Dawnguard, you're better off playing as a Dawnguard than doing the Vampire questline. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Well, but anyway, let's talk about the other DLC, Dragonborn. So Dragonborn's DLC is quite fun. Also, you get the final Dragonborn. You learn about the first Dragonborn, Merak, and you fight him and all that type of stuff. You do a lot of dungeon crawling, all that type of usual stuff. As I said, there's not really a lot to explain compared to where I was compared to my video where I did every single Elder Scrolls game ranking. That was more of an interesting video because some people complaining how it was too long, apparently. But anyway, that's off topic. But when you're talking about a full game that's a massive RPG, obviously I'm going to talk about it to 5 to 10 minutes each per game. I don't know why some people say was like, oh, this is too long. It's an hour long. I'm talking about the game. But anyway, it's Dragonborn DLC, really fun, good in a way. It's got some problems, and some of the dungeons can be a wee bit annoying, all that type of stuff. Like you can get lost, black water and all that type of stuff, but you get pretty powerful, you get really overpowered. Some people even just rush straight to this DLC because you can actually get some quite powerful perks and effects and all that in the early game where you get like more perks from skill books and all that type of stuff. It's a lot of cool things on paper. The problem is I think some of the stuff in Dragonborn, they should have added an option to get like maybe some of the upgrades from the base game. I've personally like reading a book gives you 2 skills or something like that. I think that some of that stuff should have been in the base game instead of being at the end game. Because by then you've practically read everything in the game. Unless you pick up everything, you don't read everything. I guess you could do that as well. Technically, that's an option as well, but a lot of people probably are not going to do that. I would say it's really good. It's pretty decent. It's fun. I'd probably put it at the bottom of A. Maybe B. Depends on your personality. Alright, let's talk about the Civil War questline. So people's going to ask, what side are you on? Imperials or Stormcloaks? I can be honest. I don't really care. I don't care. I really don't care at all. Honestly, there's some people that are so invested about the Civil War quest. It's kind of crazy, man. See, some people that were watching my Oblivion playthrough, this guy was like, I'm not gonna watch yours. Here's the factions you need to side with in your Skyrim playthrough. I'm like, it's my Skyrim playthrough. I'll do what the frick I want. And the guy refused to watch because I sided with the Stormcloaks in the playthrough. And I'm like, jeez, it's a freaking game. Jeez, some people compare Skyrim politics to freaking real life politics. For real, man. But anyway, off topic. It was freaking ridiculous. But anyway, the quest lines are quite generic. I would say the Civil War quest line is probably one of the best quest lines. You can improve massively with mods. You have mods that actually add in real battles. Not just 20 guys versus 20 guys. You can add in like an actual proper war zone. There's a great mod, I forgot the name of it, but there's actually 20,000 additional NPCs to the freaking world. Yeah, 20,000. So there's like massive battles you see like near cities every region, even before you start the Civil War quest, and it's amazing. Obviously, it makes your computer lag quite a bit. Skyrim's engine, it breaks quite a bit. Even with all the mods, the NPCs sometimes do glitch shit and all that type of stuff, and it does make the game load. Makes the game take much longer to load, even with an M.2. I think it's probably because Skyrim's not optimized for M.2s properly. But yeah, stuff like that. It's a really fun mod, and you take over cities and all that. But the vanilla game, you got the forts. I would say the best battle is probably the Battle Whiterun. The Imperial side kind of sucks in the Battle Whiterun, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. But the But the Stormcloak side's quite fun, where you take over the entire city, you run it, all that type of stuff. Then you got the final quest as well, where you take over the city on both sides as well. Which, to be honest, I think the final battle is actually better on the Imperial side than the Stormcloak side. So yeah, I'm being neutral there. I'm supporting both sides. But overall, I would say the Civil War quest is pretty freaking generic. Honestly, you can completely miss it. Obviously, if you want to skip one quest in the main quest, it might be worth doing. But is it really worth doing like five? I think it's 9 quests for the Civil War quest line. Is it really worth doing 9 to skip the main quest? Now we talk about the main quest. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The main quest is not that very good at all. The main quest in Elder Scroll games, I would say, has not really been good since like Morrowind. And Morrowind's probably the only good one. Maybe Daggerfall. Daggerfall's quite an interesting one as well. It's just a bit complicated. Daggerfall one is, but the main quest writing is kind of been lackluster. And you know, if they had a really good main quest writing, a lot of people, more people. To be honest, the game probably would have sold more. The game probably would have been sold more if Skyrim had amazing writing as well as amazing exploring mechanics and that, stuff like that. Honestly, I'm being completely honest. I think the game would have sold probably maybe an extra 5 million copies or something like that. And I'm not joking about that. Some people are into deep RPG lore. People seem to forget that Baldur's Gate 3 was a massive success, so people want that type of big, deep story writing in the hardcore RPGs. But I'm not here to talk about it. We're talking about Skyrim. But anyway, the main quest, it's alright. You got Delphine, a very annoying character. You get told to work with the blades. You have to betray. I know technically you can do the blade quest line. You can do most of the blade quest line without actually having to kill Parkinux. You just have to do it early. Once you get like halfway through the main quest, you can actually complete the blade quest line. But we're not ranking the blades quest line. It's not on this list anyway. I didn't create this list. This was just what I was on Tier Maker. But as I was saying, the main quest, very poor. Pretty boring, just boring dungeon, not really a lot of dialogue. You gotta listen to freaking Delphine and the Blades telling you off instead of being the other way around. The Dragonborn should be the one telling them to do what they want, not the other way around. The quest is really flawed, honestly. I get why some people won't even play the main quest in the 5th Elder Scroll game. I completely understand. Because the main quest is so flawed and it's got a lot of issues. It's not absolutely unplayable, it's playable. It is doable, but it's really boring and it's quite fast as well. It's only like 2 to 3 hours long. You can literally speedrun this quest pretty fast. You can complete this probably in like under 2 hours for the average player, around 2 hours for the average player that knows what they're doing, of course. Of course, you got average. If you don't know what you're doing, then it might be like 5 to 10 hours. But if you know what you're doing, you can probably complete it in like 2 hours. No joke. The main quest is that short. The main quest is really short. Miscellaneous quest. So obviously these are like the type of quests you get in cities. So you got like the Solitude one where you go under the cave and that type of stuff. You got a Mormoth one, the Vampire Hunting one, which is it's all right. Then you got the cool ones like the Markov one with the murder mystery and all that type of stuff. You're investigating something. No, that's not Markov. That's Windhelm, the murder mystery one's the murder. Windhelm got the Markov's the freaking the Force on Spirit thing, which is quite interesting. Though the only downside about that quest is I wish the Force on would stop attacking you once you complete that quest. I think that would have been a cool mechanic for Halo SBS, so it's not a gaming company. Let's be realistic. Or it may have not had enough time. I'm not going to shit on them for that. You got Whiterun's quest, which is quite interesting about the Farmore infiltration and all that type of stuff. Overall, I would say there's a decent amount of good mini quests, but then there's pretty awful ones like collect these 26 gems, or I think it's 30 gems, gem quest, because that technically is considered a mini quest because the quest does update when you pick up more items. It's not just a kill bandit or something like that type of quest. Then you've also got the one where you go pick black roots and all that, which is quite a bad quest. You've got a mix of really good quests, you've got a mix of really bad quests, I would say, for miscellaneous quests. You've got a mix of average, you got really good, then you've got mediocre quests. So I'm going to just put it straight in the middle. We'll put it in B. And that was a bit delayed. The Thieves Guild. The Thieves Guild, I gotta be honest with Skyrim, I think it's quite flawed as well. The main quests, the quest line, you're not really a thief, if I'm going to be completely honest. You are for like the first few quest lines, the first few quests, but then you become a Nightingale and all that type of stuff. And the Nightingale, I'm going to be straight up honest, doesn't really suit the Thieves Guild whatsoever. Like, honestly, they should have just kept the Thieves Guild in Skyrim, kind of similar to what it was in Oblivion, if I'm going to be completely honest. And you have to be stealth and you have to steal stuff and that. I get the side quests are like that, but we're not ranking side quests. We're not ranking the Radiant quests. If I was, then yeah, the Radiant quests are somewhat interesting. Some of them are, but some of them are really, really bad. Come a Nightingale, you get this betrayal, another betrayal. Yeah, I know, predictable, man. Jeez, how many freaking quests have you been pretty much betrayed in this game? Technically 3, I suppose, if you count the main quest. Technically, the main quest you're technically betrayed as well by the freaking Blades. They don't actually try and kill you, wise, but they betray you by refusing to work for you. So I guess technically sort of a betrayal in its own way. Then you get the Dark Brotherhood betrayal, then you get the Thieves Guild as well. You come a Nightingale, that type of stuff, then you gotta go through big dungeons, and you have 2 companions that follow you, and it's not really stealthy. It's not really stealthy. To be honest, the Thieves Guild of Skyrim is kind of like the Fighters Guild. I would consider the Thieves Guild of Skyrim like half of the questline is literally the Fighters Guild of what you would equivalent of like the Morrowind Fighters Guild or the Oblivion's Fighters Guild. You're doing a lot of fighting. I think you're doing a bit too much fighting, especially the Nightingale part towards the end when you go into these big dungeons and all that type of stuff to go after him, and the big final cave and all that. It's just, sure, you can be stealthy, but you got 2 NPCs following you, and then they might get caught. You might be forced to fight and all that type of stuff. It really just felt like a fight. It really just felt like it didn't really feel like a Thieves Guild to me, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. It did have some redeeming factors. Obviously, the first class part of the quest line I thought was quite interesting, but after that, it just got really bad. I would say it's better on the main quest. I'll say it's better on the main quest. The main quest is just the main quest is the main quest is even more interesting. Like the first part of the main quest, I would say the first dungeon, you do Black Reach and all that type of stuff, and getting that dragon and fighting your first dragon bit's fun, but the rest just downgrades from them. The Thieves Guild's kind of like that as well. Like, you got to steal stuff, break stuff, and all that type of stuff. But then you have to hunt down this person, Nightingale, and all that type of stuff. It's just, really? And you also lose the skeleton key! It's the only Elder Scrolls game where you can't keep it! What? You lose the skeleton key if you complete the quest line. So if you want to keep the skeleton key, you can't complete the quest line. Who the frick at Bethesda thought that was a great idea? I'm sorry. They should have allowed it to keep it, or they should have had it where you could do a Daedric quest and keep the skeleton key. Come on, man. Or at least, I don't know, maybe make it you can only use the skeleton key a certain amount of times or something. Do that then instead of just completely taking off the player. Well, that was a really, really dumb mechanic, but anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Talk about that in another rant or something. Winterhold. So this is the college guild. I'm going to be honest. I don't like Harry Potter. I don't like Harry Potter. I just don't like Harry Potter in general. And they seem to base a lot of this stuff off Harry Potter. The College of Winterhold, instead of basing off actually a mage's guild and a magical guild, it's a lot of, oh, you're this prophecy, another prophecy. Can we please stop being the prophecy of everything? Jeez, I really don't like the questline. You don't really feel like a mage. You only have to use magic once or a couple of times in it, and you don't really use the magic for combat or anything like that. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's just stupidly ridiculous. I think this is the longest. I think it's the longest guild in the entire game. Honestly, it can take you somewhere between like 6 hours if you're doing it really fast to like 20. It's just really, really. I get some people able to do it in like 4 hours, but it's like 4 hours at the minimum to like 20 hours unless you're like doing glitches and that. It's just really slow, and I guess Oblivion kind of had that problem as well, to be honest. Oblivion's Mage's Guild was interesting. I would say Oblivion's Mage's Guild was more cooler than Skyrim's, because I actually felt like a proper Mage's Guild, not freaking some weird ass college. I don't know. It's just the quest line just goes on and on and on and on and on. So yeah, I'm gonna put it on unplayable. It's gonna be on unplayable. I would just completely recommend you skip this quest line. It's just, if you like Harry Potter, you might not mind it. But if you really do not like Harry Potter, I mean, there's probably someone out there that doesn't like Harry Potter that probably absolutely loves absolutely loves the College of Winterhold. See, I keep calling it the Mage's Guild. Why did they change it to the College? Why did they change the name of it the College? I get it because lore-wise somehow the Mage's Guild completely collapsed, which I don't fucking understand how it collapsed in every single region of Tamriel. Huh? That's a question for freaking lore masters or someone, and I'm sure they have an answer for that. the lore's really confusing in these games. I mean, they may even like the Bethesda even made the freaking lore confusing in the freaking Fallout universe as well, man. Compared to what the original Fallout games were like as well. Let's be honest, but that's not really Bethesda's fault. That's because it was just wrote by a different publisher, and obviously different publishers and different developers are going to have different ideas in general. But yeah. Yeah, that's my tier list. I tried to make this one a bit shorter. I made it about 25 minutes long, but yeah, let me know if you agree. Let me know where would you put yours at? Where would you put your personal tier list for the Skyrim guilds? But anyway, I've got nothing else to say, so I will see you all next time. Peace out and bye.